Hi, this is Representative Jeff Morris from the 40th Legislative District, Position 2. It's a time of the session down here where budgets start flying back and forth between the House and the Senate. And with a deficit of $9 billion and declining fuel taxes for transportation budgets, it's not a happy time down here in Olympia. There is some good news. Through work that I've been pursuing with the Mayor of Anacortes, Dean Maxwell, and the Mayor of Sydney, Larry Cross, we've been able to secure the reauthorization of running the Anacortes to Sydney ferry run for the next biennium. That's important because that brings millions of dollars in tourism revenue to both cities on both sides of the border in both counties. People take circle tours. They drive up through Bellingham, up to Tsawwassen, down through Victoria, and back through Sydney to Anacortes, or even up through the Olympic Peninsula to Victoria and back down through Sydney and Anacortes, bringing, as I said before, tens of millions of dollars to the economies of both sides of the border. On top of that, in working with Mayor Cross and Mayor Maxwell, we were able to negotiate $100,000 in reduced docking fees per year at the Sydney terminal, which is going to help the Anacortes-Sydney run actually meet 100% fare box recovery every year. The docking fees have gone up substantially through a lot of history of negotiations that didn't go well, but the reality is that we now have more of a partnership than a one-way relationship when it comes to running ferry boats from Anacortes to Sydney, British Columbia. On top of that, we're moving out transportation budgets that try to restore a procurement schedule to get new boats built to serve our maritime communities. Since the passage of Initiative 695 wiped out all the capital resources that were dedicated to build new boats, we've fallen way behind our schedule. I voted in 2003 to approve boats, 144-car auto ferries that were supposed to be in service in 2007. And because of lawsuits and unforeseen circumstances with losing some boats out of service, we still don't have those bigger boats in line to be delivered. We're pushing very, very hard to get those boats constructed in 2011 and have 3 smaller boats to serve Port Townsend to Keystone between now and 2011. In all, we need to procure about 7 to 11 new boats over the next 10 to 12 years. And it's imperative that we do this because our existing fleet is over 50 years old. Whether the hulls can stand up to that type of saltwater abuse or not over that time is one thing, but the reality is that anything mechanical is going to break down more often. The budget situation, the general operating budget, is a very, very dire situation. The House decided to favor preserving funding for smaller classroom sizes, and in doing so had to make deeper cuts in social services and the healthcare area and in many of the programs we provide. The Senate took a different approach, not preserving smaller classroom sizes and not having as deep cuts in social services and healthcare. These are going to be the central issues as we wrap up our business to get a budget for the 2009 to 2011 biennium completed. Your preference on either of those approaches is important to me to hear from you. So please, at the end of this videotape, there's a email and a telephone number. Your thoughts on which approach is best would really help guide me how we end up writing the final budget for 2009-11. Thank you very much.